Hello and welcome to City Tales Medieval Era. This is an organic city builder with strategy, and we're going to be starting a new game. And as we go in, I just got to say, the trailer on the Steam store page, where there is a link in the description, by the way, so if you want to check out the Steam store page, you should probably take a look, because the trailer is absolutely insane. Because they actually show you such an incredible sprawling city, and I can imagine it. I can imagine it because the way that this game works, you are going to have an insane amount of freedom to create the most amazing landscape ever, basically. Very, very cool. Anyway, welcome, my liege. I sincerely hope your travels were pleasant and safe. As you can see, the land remains a little barren, but I'm confident it will soon host a magnificent city under your guidance. Your companions and I have built a modest village hall. I hope it shall meet your approval. People from far and wide are gathering to join our humble settlement. May I suggest we build some decent housing to welcome them? To begin, we must gather wood. And so our first goal is obviously to build our first shelter. Now, this is very much the tutorial, of course. And, well, I already know a huge amount about what to do here because I've been playing this game for the last hour or so just because I was actually getting carried away because it is an enjoyable experience, and that's just how it goes, isn't it? Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to move this thing somewhere a huge amount of stuff can be gathered, so somewhere like that. Obviously, it is pretty far away from our city, but I think that's actually going to be fine because we are going to actually need to construct a lot of shall we say building plots, and building plots are required for civil buildings as well as actual residential buildings. So you're going to get to see exactly what I meant at the beginning when I was talking about organic and the way that the building system works. So you'll see exactly what I mean. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to put this on ×2. You can even take pictures in this game, by the way. So as you can see right there, it obviously removes all of the UI, and then you can take a picture however you like, you know, screenshot, something like that. Ah, perfect. Now, my liege, those trees won't fell themselves, but I'm sure one of your companions will rise to the challenge. Any one of them would be up to the task, but the decision rests with you, my liege. All right, so basically we just select this and then go here. We're going to be saying that Misha should go ahead and do that. And there we go. Yep. So, funnily enough, your villagers all have their own personalities, which I actually really think is kind of cool because they're not faceless or anything like that. They're not just like random people. I mean, yeah, they are random in the way that they first are generated, but they each have their own personalities and, you know, all that stuff, which I actually think is pretty cool. And there we go. Very well, now we can build these houses. Perhaps a district of 4 or 5 would be enough for starters. And so this is where they actually teach you how to build a district. This is a bit too far away, in my opinion, for Mr. Advisor there. I think that's way too far away. You can obviously change all of the dimensions, so you don't necessarily have to worry about anything much. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it relatively close. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to place it over here, I think. Here is pretty good, in my opinion. So we're just going to do something like this. And there is a 5 zone. And that is great. So what they're going to do is they're now going to, all of our other people are going to go over there and they're going to get the shelter built. Well, they're going to get shelters built as fast as they can. Now, there are a number of resources available in the game to gather, and we're obviously going to be doing that. So, well done, my liege. More settlers have arrived. It's a monumental step forward, and there will be many more. See, they've offered us coins for the land. Let's be humble and use their contributions wisely to develop our economy a little further. Let's invest in a lumber mill and produce sturdy planks from the wood we've gathered. Okay, so very easy. Lumber mill, very, very simple. Now, this is the first civil building, you see, and that's the reason why the advisor is now saying that we need all of these things, and we have all of that, and it doesn't require any other nearby buildings or natural resources, so you can just place it wherever you want. However, it must be in a district. Okay, it must be in a district. You cannot place it like a regular building, like one of these woodcutter buildings, or a quarry, or a fisherman's hut, or a hunter's hut, or any of these things. You cannot place it anywhere. It has to be within a district, and you can't place a district if it is too small either. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, you ordered to build a lumber mill in this district. Our villagers shall decide the exact location within the area. That's the reason why it's also very organic in that sense, because the villagers are going to be choosing where it actually goes. If there are empty parcels in the districts you've selected, our builders will ensure more houses are built to attract even more. You've taken care of the basics, my liege. Now I shall establish my office in the village hall and start being extremely lazy. Goodbye. Yes, I'm sure he will. I'm obviously joking. He's going to do a great job. Right, so as you can see right here, we have the gatherer's cabin, hunter's cabin, and fisher's cabin. Now, unfortunately for me, we don't really have many ways to build these. We don't have any ways to build the gatherer's cabin or the hunter's cabin because we don't have a weaving workshop. But we are going to be getting one of those in just a moment. Judith is going to be our new lumber mill person. And bear in mind, each of these people are going to be gaining experience. They're going to be gaining experience, and they're also going to be upgrading the various buildings that they work inside. And once they have upgraded those buildings, or once they have, worked inside a building for a specified amount of time, you can then click upgrade on those buildings, and then they will become automated because these people will have gained themselves a couple of apprentices, and they will be able to go and be reassigned elsewhere. You see? So basically you're then able to kind of snowball effect the entire operation. So in other words, the lumber mill, for example, she's going to be working on this until she reaches like level 2 or level 3 or whatever it is, and then once she's done that, we can then upgrade the building, because you can see here, look at the top, or look at this top bar right here. That is the top bar. That is the experience that requires that to become automated, and then you can just upgrade it, and then everything's going to be good, which is fantastic in my opinion. Now, you may also notice something else. Do you notice something right here? Look at this little pathway that has been constructed. Do you see that? That is not me. I have not placed anything there. That is not me whatsoever. That is literally the game detecting that villagers are running along that path, and it is creating the path due to wear and tear, which I think is very, very cool. I love that kind of thing. I think that's super, super fun. Okay, so we're going to get the weaving workshop round about here. The weaving workshop is going to be fantastic because we need that to be able to create the other things like the hunter's cabin and all that stuff, because we need these things. We need whatever this is, rope or something. I think it's rope, yes. I think we need that. So I should probably build the fisher's cabin. That's going to be very, very useful. So the fisher's cabin can just go over there. And then we also have the weaving workshop. So we'll have Alberic go on that. Yeah, I think their names are actually not randomized because I remember Alberic from my previous game. So seems like it isn't randomized, and they are indeed a staple, or shall we say, a staple of the game itself, which is very cool. I like that a great deal. And you can see here, look at this, look at this, look at this look at this pathway right here. It's because we've got so many people running back and forth between these two places, and you guessed it, they're creating the path due to them traversing it over and over again. And I absolutely love that kind of system. I think that is just fantastic because it really makes you feel as though this world is lived in. It is actually lived in comparison to it being a world where you're pretty much just randomly, going into it, and you're not really you're placing down the road, you know what I mean? If you place down the road and people are running up and down and they're not running through your pathways, because let's face it, sometimes the AI doesn't really do that. Sometimes it very much depends on the game, of course, but let's just say that they don't, and then you're immediately going to think to yourself, oh yeah, well, that's kind of sad, isn't it? Anyway, Let's not rest on our laurels just yet. There's still a lot to be done, my liege. You may develop our economy as you see fit, but be mindful of the happiness of our villagers. Okay, so we're going to upgrade 5 shelters by satisfying the occupants' requirements. So, as you might expect, each individual village shelter has a level requirement, or shall we say a level specification to upgrade it to the next one. So what we're going to do is we are going to be, well, we have, do I have a well already? No, I didn't have a well. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. Right, so what we're going to do, I need to be a little bit careful here because I want to get the gatherer's cabin and I want to try to get as many berries as possible. So let me see what I can do about that. Let's go around about there, I guess. And we want the hunter's cabin as well. The hunter's cabin can probably go somewhere like here. We want it to generally get as many as possible, probably something like this, even though we are going to destroy a couple of a couple of trees in the process of that, but that's okay. And now we're just going to get another little district over here. This should be pretty good. We can move this a little bit further away there we go, and then we can build a well over there. Now the well has a radius. Now just bear that in mind. It has a radius. Every single shall we say, kind of every single civil building has a radius in a sense. Some buildings obviously have a much bigger impact. You'll see exactly what I mean by that, because obviously the well is required for a number of things. So for example, if I were to select this right here, the white circle around the district represents its influence. You see this? You see this influence right here? So any districts within the circle benefit from the services provided by the selected one. The blue triangles show that water is available. Here you can see the total number of parcels within the district. And so you can see here we have 3 available. And here you can see the influences affecting the district. Of course, it benefits from the water provided by its own well. And it also provides a summary and how many people and so on and so forth. This is a lot to take in at once. No, it's actually fine. I think they've explained it very, very well, actually. Surprisingly enough, I actually understood it first time. Isn't that crazy? Yep, that is pretty crazy. Anyway, so as you can see right here, unfortunate for me, but this well is only providing water to that village over there, but not to the further one, or shall we say, not the village, but the district. So anyway, as you can see, Misha is now talking to us. Hey, remember that cabin you had me work in? Well, I've made a few adjustments to it. You're gonna like them. I see you're as enthusiastic as ever, Misha. So what are these adjustments you speak of? And indeed, these are this. Small improvements? We're way past that. Good heavens, Misha, you took the time to train an apprentice. Well, I thought it would... well, actually, that's the wrong voice. Well, I thought it would save us time. He's a very motivated young lad, I must say. I barely had to teach him anything. He seems very smart indeed. My liege, this building is now autonomous. You can allow Misha to continue upgrading it, or should you wish, assign their invaluable skills to another task. Even though Misha is too modest to admit it, I'm certain they've learned a lot from their experience. And so, in other words, Misha could basically stay on here for longer and gain more experience in the gathering skill, if we wanted him to do that. And we could, of course, do that if we wanted, because technically we are going to be getting something in the future which might actually be somewhat useful. So yeah, what we can do now, and this is indeed a thing that potentially is good and maybe potentially bad, is you can replace a domicile, or shall we say a shelter, I guess is what they call it in this game. You can replace a shelter with a civil building. And that is indeed going to make things a little bit uncomfortable for people. They don't necessarily appreciate being... shall we say, evicted from their houses, which obviously is to be expected. I mean, come on, you know, who would be? But sometimes it's kind of necessary in a sense, because then you can replace it with something like a trading plaza and a chapel. And it's the same thing here. I'm going to be building a well right here so that we actually have water with all of these places. And you can see here, look at these. These shelters already have an upgrade available to them. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to upgrade these. and then maybe we'll be able to upgrade this as well. Now, as you can see, the well is not yet available because this one's not yet done, and now this one's available to upgrade too. So there you go. We have another upgrade available for that one. And yeah, maybe we'll get this one as well. Yep, there we go. That one's also available. Fantastic. And any other shelter that is in this area, we might indeed be getting a load of upgraded buildings. And yes, indeed, look at that. There's another one. Fantastic. So let's see. Do we have anything else? So we have a trading plaza right there, which is great. We have a chapel right there too. And I'm thinking right now that maybe, I don't really see, this is the funny thing. The woodcutter's cabin, I don't really want to get rid of it from this position, but I also don't want to get rid of any trees in the area because that's going to make things a bit more problematic for us. You see, that's the difficulty with building in this game. You're going to have to take into account where everything is when you build a new district. A few villagers have expressed their gratitude for the new houses we built for them. They're eager to see what's next. Speaking of which, I believe it's time we begin to build, or shall we say, dream bigger. Wooden houses have served us well, but we should soon look to building with stone. Okay, a stone quarry. Sounds pretty good to me. Okay, and so we can now upgrade that. We can upgrade a huge amount. Look at this. We got so much new stuff. And we are going to be building our quarry round about here. There we go. And the stone quarry will be built sometime soon. And we're going to be transferring Misha off of that. And then he can participate in the gathering of stone. And we're going to need stone for wheat farms, cattle farms, linen farms, as well as the not the rustic tavern apparently, but we are going to be needing food. You see, we're going to be needing food for the rustic tavern. Taverns are important, as you might expect. If we don't want a rustic tavern, then we could just build a regular tavern, but the regular tavern is going to need stone as well. So it's very, very important that we get that. We also have a performance stage right there too. All right, so Misha is going to be reassigned to this one, and once again, he is going to be working to upgrade the building. And once he's upgraded the building, you know what we can do then? Yes, it's all automated. And most of these other buildings, they're also automated. So you can see here, this lumber mill has already become automated. You see here, this building will work even without a companion. You see, that symbol basically denotes that. And it's the same thing with the weaving workshop. And it's the same thing with, let me see here. No, the hunter's cabin is not yet automated, but will be sometime soon. The woodcutter's cabin obviously is. The fisher's cabin is as well. And look, there's a pharmacy. We might be able to get a pharmacy up and running sometime soon too. Shall we get a performance stage? I think we should probably get a performance stage. But the problem with doing that is that we don't really have any space. And this is as I said, this is the difficulty of playing this game. You do have to be very aware of the spacing that you have available and what is currently built. So it's very, very positional based. However, you are going to be able to build as many districts as you want. So technically you can build as many chapels as you want and as many trading areas as you want. And so you can make that work that way. However, sometimes I do think that maybe it would be a good idea to not do that and just to be a little bit more careful with your placements. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build a well because we need that, I think. Is there? Oh no, we don't actually need a well. Oh. Can I destroy that? Nope. Okay, I need to wait until that's actually built. That is unfortunate for me, isn't it? Yeah, okay, well, it's gonna get built. Maybe we can destroy it. I think we probably can, right? There we go. Okay, destroy this. Does this not work? Destroying this parcel would split the district. Yeah, I mean, I don't... Oh, would split the district. Okay, I didn't actually want to destroy that. I just wanted to destroy the well. I guess the well isn't that bad to keep there because it is going to expand the district quite nicely. So I guess that's okay. But I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest, because now my performance stage is not actually going to work. Yeah, there we go. You see, that's indeed the difficulty of dealing with city planning in this game. So yeah, it's a very, very cool experience in my opinion. So let's actually just go over here. There we go. We'll get the performance stage in this area there. And I think we're probably pretty good to just kind of leave this where it is. I am going to build another chapel out here somewhere, but this is... Oh yeah, by the way, I should show you the size of the map. Look at how massive this map actually is. This is insanely huge. And I can assume that as time goes on, you are literally going to be building... maybe not to the edges of the map, but you're definitely going to be building an extremely large city, which is very, very cool in my opinion. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. If you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description, and I would highly recommend adding it to your Steam wishlist. It's looking really, really cool so far, and I'm loving the fact that we have these paths. And bear in mind, it's probably going to release into early access, and this is a preview build that I'm playing right now. So obviously things are subject to change and all that wonderful stuff. You know the drill, right? You know the drill. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.